We're going out into some kind of harbor somewhere on the East Coast. And that's all I can tell you. Oh, I think I see Manchester in the back. No, I don't know. I don't know. If we can see the old Manchester bandstand, we know where we are. Looks sort of like Manchester Harbor, doesn't it? That's Manchester. There's that bandstand. There's the float. There's George Patton waters. Now we're back at Manchester. Looks like we canceled the wedding, doesn't it, huh? Jesus. That's Ma. And I think that's, who's that? Mrs. Burnett, probably. NYC hadn't changed much, unfortunately. It hadn't changed at all. Was chased by Pershing. Oh, here we are on the when and if. It's a quick change, folks. I'm sorry, but there we are, and we're just getting her put together. And I think this is in Wiscasset. I know it's in Wiscasset, Maine. Those two schooners are up there today. You can see them up there on the rocks. And she was built in Wiscasset by Pendleton Yard. And this was 1939. And she was my dad's dream ship, which he never got to do much with because in 39 Hitler started giving problems to the world, and my dad got pretty involved, as most of you know. I think we go back to Texas in a little later. Bob Grimes didn't do the best job in the world of putting these together chronologically, and for that I apologize. This was designed by Alden. She was 63 overall, drew 9 feet. I don't know the beam. And she was built by Pendleton Yards in Wiscasset, Maine in 1939. And I was sent up there to help Joe Eklund work on her, and we did a little work from time to time with the rigging. Joe Eklund rigged her. And here's someone going ashore somewhere in New England, and that is the when and if, when she was first put together. So we're looking at about 1939 now. And here we are aboard the when and if. Going somewhere, I'm not sure where, in the fog. You can tell it's foggy as hell. She's a lovely boat, 63 feet overall, built in Wiscasset, Maine by Pendleton. And she had a square yard instead of a spinnaker, and now when they got to Landmark School, they took the square yard off. I'm not sure who that is. That's a topsail schooner of some sort. That's a picture taken from the bowsprit. My dad never had much chance to use this boat because there he is in a blue shirt. Because it was built in '39 and things got pretty busy for him in about 1940. And they put her in storage at Solomon's Island, Maryland, where she stayed throughout the war. Home. That's Joe Eklund. Isn't that a fine picture? Here we are. I guess we're on leave from Leavenworth.
We're at the Manchester Yacht Club. No,
getting ready to go to Europe. There's a when and if. With the squaresail. That's the only picture. That's important. That's the only picture I've ever seen of her with the squaresail.
And there's Ruth Ellen.
Ruth Ellen.
And I guess we're going out for the day. We're getting closer and
But
closer.
she was in a powerboat. I don't know what she's doing in a powerboat.
She's probably in the launch. We're all going out to spend the day.
Look at that square. Isn't that a beauty?
Many happy hours on the Wenham.
There's Uncle Fred in the middle there.
Well, I sailed more with Uncle Fred than I did anybody, I must say, even when you were overseas.
And that, I don't know who the hell that is in the necktie. He's the professional. Frosty or somebody.
And Mr. Frost.
And Hedda. Larry Hedda. But that's a very important shot right there, particularly with the squaresail. Because Landmark School took the squaresail off. Ben, if you ever watch this film,